Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How you feeling? Let me know in the comment section. Uh, Let me know in the comment section. We're gonna talk about the latest immigration news. Hello. Let me know in the comment section. How are you? How are you feeling? Where are you? What state? I'm trying to post this on IG. Sorry. So that people can get in live session. Okay. So we want to talk about the latest immigration news. What's really going on with the U.S. citizenship? A lot's going on. They just added multiple factors in determining whether or not this person is um, eligible for U.S. citizenship. As far as a good moral character is concerned, they just added some multiple factors. So we're going to talk about the multiple factor that they added in order to consider whether or not the person is in fact a person having good moral character. They are going on top of everything that we already know, right? They're going to see if you behave, the applicant, good behavior in society. How you behave in society is going to count uh, positive contribution in society is going to count your level of education, involvement in your community, if you can maintain a stable employment, um, if you just can integrate in society, um, basically, in terms of if your belief system is compatible with the US norms. Basically, that's what they're trying to say here. Yeah, but that's what's going on uh, with US citizenship. Yeah, anybody want to share this live session? Let me know. So, because we need people to ask their questions. So before we get started, I'm trying to find out whether we have additional news. Okay, do we have additional news? Question news. Okay, the Trump administration has directed the government official to uh, probe any anti-American views. Basically, if your belief system is different from Americans' belief system, it's just going to undermine the ability for someone to get their green card, work permit, and that's going to have an impact in denying applications as far as green card applications are concerned. Because nowadays, what they're trying to do is to see the intent of the person. Let's say the person came with the visitor visa and the person applies for green card based on marriage. Meanwhile, the person stay unlawfully present. So that unlawful presence, it's, in other words, undermining a lot of applications, trying to see why the person overstayed their visa. Okay. For example, last week, that's one thing, right? Another thing is that, for example, last week, good moral character assessment in the U.S. citizenship process, that requirement was based on just of criminal record or misrepresentation. But now they're trying to see if the person, what is their involvement in their community, negative factor, traffic violations, repeat traffic violation, um, stable employment, if the person has maintained a stable employment, all that in order to see if the person is qualified for U.S. citizenship. Basically, that's what's going on. Minikabeya, you're welcome. How long I-130 takes in Baltimore? Uh, U.S. citizen, to be honest, it's just depend. I have a I-130 that two actually that was approved yesterday. No, on the 15th, August 15th. But I became aware of it on the 18th, on Monday. It was filed on June 6, 2024. So approximately 14 months. And we have one that we just filed an inquiry on it. USCIS said that at least 17 months. That's the minimum. You have to give them at least 17 months. But we have another one that we filed. We already went to the interview for it within 8 months. They call us for the interview. So it's just case by case basis. How long is your application has been pending for? How long? If your application has been pending for at least 1 year, yeah. So it's just, I guess it's just case by case basis at this point. But the last email I received from the congressman, because we tried to file an expedited request on a case, USCI said that, first of all, we don't meet the requirement for the expedited request. And second of all, the current processing time is 17 months in Baltimore. That's what USCIS told us. On the internet, I don't know. That's you're going to have to check. I don't check that. But personally, I've seen after 1 year, that's when you can think about, at least you give it between 1 year to 2 years. That's what I'll say. Okay. Yeah, case by case basis. Every case is different. Let's see if we have other immigration news. I'm trying to see if we have a additional. Yeah, USCIS. This is the one we wanted to talk about here. USCIS policy memorandum on good moral character evaluation standard for naturalization. Okay. Before it was, now what they want to see is what they are restoring a very holistic and comprehensive good moral character evaluation. It's like, yeah, they just want to make sure that the person is like a saint, I guess. This is crazy. Okay, what are the factors? Not limited. Positive factor, if the person sustained community involvement and contribution to the United States, family caregiving, responsibility, ties in the United States, educational attainment, stable and lawful employment, history and achievement, length of lawful residency in the United States, compliance with tax obligation and financial responsibility. That's on top of everything that we already know. Those are the good factors they're going to consider. Okay. Let me go back if we have questions. Do we have questions? I consulted with you before and I would like to do it again. Okay. Let me send you the consultation link. Hold on. Let me send you the consultation link. Yeah, that's your consultation link right there. Right after your comment. You can schedule it. You can copy it. And then when you're ready to schedule a consultation, you can schedule it, okay? I'm just trying to find out about if we have other news besides the new requirement for U.S. citizenship. It's not like new requirement. Good moral character is part of proving that you meet the eligibility requirement for U.S. citizenship. However, they're just trying to add a lot of things. Okay. Yeah. So the positive factor that can help someone is if the person has sustained community involvement and contribution in the United States. They're going to look at family caregiving. If, let's say, you're taking care of family members, your parents, your children, what are your responsibility and ties in the United States, your level of education, stable and lawful employment history and achievement, length of lawful residency, compliance with tax obligations and financial responsibility in the United States. So those are the things that they're looking into when it comes to U.S. citizenship. Those are the new factors they will look into determining whether or not. Let me share my screen maybe. Yeah, that way you know what I'm talking about. Okay. This one, where is it? Okay. So they're looking into the totality of circumstances approach. Okay. In total, what are the good things when it comes to good moral and character? Those are the greater emphasis on positive attributes on contribution. Okay. if you've sustained community involvement and contribution in the United States, family caregiving, responsibility, ties in the United States, educational attainment, stable and lawful employment history and achievement, length of lawful residence in the United States, compliance with tax obligation and financial responsibility in the United States, among other things. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so if you've done something bad in the past, but if you have been rehabilitated, they will take that into consideration. Okay. Uh, for example, if you rectify overdue child support payment and other family obligation, compliance with probation. If let's say a person has been on probation and if they comply with probation, community testimony from credible sources attesting to early and ongoing reformation or mentoring those with similar past, full repayment and overpayment of benefits, full payment or overtax. Let's say you had taxes that on pay, but then later on you pay those taxes. Child support unpaid. Later on, the person went ahead and paid. Uh, Compliance with probation, compliance with anything that was required of that person to do. If the person had complied. So they're going afterward and look at the rehabilitation if you have done the things that you were supposed to do, if you have rectifying the wrongdoing, okay? That too they'll take into consideration when it comes to good moral and character. Yeah, that's basically what they're saying when it comes to USCIS. Let me stop here and see if we have another news. Yeah, I'm trying to find out if we have another news. Uh, okay. So what else we have as news here? Okay. Yeah, so those are the things we know as far as U.S. citizenship is concerned. Additional factor. I want to see as far as other news. Uh, yeah, anybody else? Do we have questions? Okay, 22. Do we have questions? Waiting for questions. Do we have questions? Good morning. How are you? Long time. I haven't seen you I got my US citizenship in May 2025. Congratulations. Congratulations. Please like, please share. Okay. Please like, please share my my YouTube. Expecting a child. So congratulations. You got great news to share. Congratulations. And please like and please share my YouTube videos as well. Well, the child is born here on the US soil. You know, the child is a US citizenship. I mean, the child is a US citizen because remember the US citizenship. How do you call it? The executive order is still on suspended, right? So I think the child is a US citizen because the citizenship thing is still suspended. And not to mention, you are a US citizen. So the child is born from a parent who's a US citizen. Oh, the child's going to be born overseas. Oh, okay. The child's born overseas, then you're going to have to file because the parent is a US citizen. You're going to have to file for the child. N600 for the child to get the citizenship. Yeah, if you are a US citizen, by the time the child is born, the child's a US citizen, but because the child is not born here, you're going to have to file some type of forms. I don't know if the mother is a US citizen. It doesn't matter. At least one parent's a US citizen, which you are. So the child's a US citizen because the child is born from parents who are US citizen. Okay? So, but you're going to have to file some paperwork to get it. I think it's the form N600, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's you're gonna have to file the form N600. That's what I believe. Anyway, anybody else? Do you have a question? Please put it in the comment section so we can move along. Okay. I don't think we have more. Lena Jane Asher thing. Oh, okay. You have a question, Ellen. Okay. How long to wait for what? I've asked you before, but your response was a bit confusing. I already have a U visa. It took 5 years. I waited 2 years to become eligible to adjustment. I have filed. How long to wait now? You already filed. How long to wait? That's I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take them to actually give you the green card. You have to go online and check how long is the processing time for adjustment of status. That I don't know. You just have to check on the internet. Yeah, you already filed. You waited 2 years for the to become eligible, and you already filed. Now you wait. You go online and check on processing time. That's it. That I don't know. Or you can even call USCIS to tell to ask them how long it's gonna take for this case to be processed. Adjustment of status. You're welcome. Yeah, you're just gonna have to talk to USCIS and see how long it's gonna take. Because processing time, they will put processing time online. They don't even follow it. Yeah, some people cases get approved sooner. Some people have to wait. It's just case by case basis. But at least to have an idea, you just look online, processing time for green card based on new visa. It's gonna give you at least an idea of how long it might take. That's it. Okay. What else we have here? Okay. You're welcome. Anybody else? If we don't have additional question, I think we're gonna have to hang up because we just wanted to talk about U.S. citizenship and this new additional factor that they're adding in order for a person to become a U.S. citizen. If we don't have a additional question, I think we're gonna have to stop here. Let me see on USCIS website if we have additional USCIS. A child molester in North Carolina indicted and arrested for naturalization fraud. You see, USCIS nowadays they're really investigating on all applications. Maybe that's why applications taking forever. Yeah, and USCIS consider Americanism in immigrant benefit. If you don't like America, you can't get their benefit. Basically, that's what they're saying. So that, guess that's it. Yeah. Okay. This is it, right? We didn't have a lot of questions. We just answered a couple questions. That's it. We'll come back when we have more news. When we have more news, we'll come back. The main thing was about U.S. citizenship. And the deportation thing, we already know that. Everybody is aware of that. Uh, okay. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye.